Well, it's my last day on trail. I haven't filmed any contemplations so far on this trip. This is the Contemplating walking channel after all. It's not because I haven't been contemplating, but my thinking has been pretty single focus and personal. So I'll jump into that a little bit right now. Feel free to skip this section if this kind of rambling is boring and useless. So this spring I started the hike of my dreams. I've been thinking about watching videos, reading books, reading blogs, everything I can get my hands on for hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. Finally this year I took my first step on that trail and was so excited, so thankful and grateful. The trail was fantastic. The people were awesome. Trail angels, trail towns. I can't comment enough or express enough how great that trail was for me, meeting every expectation. But I had never hiked more than 1 week at a time in the past. I've always been busy working, family, whatever. I've talked about that plenty. So over time, the trail became normal, and I started to have difficulties when I would interface with the real world. So on trail, there's not much that changes. I mean, you're walking, you're eating, you're sleeping. You're excited to find the occasional porta potty or something so you don't have to dig a cat hole every day. But I'd come into town and there was real life. People are going about their business, going to work in the morning, kids are going to school. It really kind of started to hit me, the sacrifice that I was making by literally walking away from that with my wife and kids and grandkids and siblings, my mother, everybody. I just walked away from it, and it got to be too much. That's fairly well documented in my PCT videos, I think. But I've thought about that decision to leave the PCT literally every day this summer. I still contend it was the one and only proper choice for me at the time, but at the same time, it was one of the biggest disappointments that I've ever had in myself. I utterly failed at a goal that I had set. So, like I say, it was the right choice. I don't regret. So I'm not like beating myself up, but that image I had of myself of being the stalwart backpacker traveling big trails, accomplishing huge challenges, that image was gone, and I wasn't quite sure what was left. So, other than, I'm trying not to make this all seem dark, what was left was a life that I absolutely love. Traveling by car or plane, visiting lots of people, lots of places, but the image of that backpacker standing on top of the mountain was no longer a part of that picture of my life. So summer went along, great summer, very busy, lots of great things happened. And then as we're approaching fall, there just happens to be this gap between big trips that would fit how long I expected it would take me to do the Superior Hiking Trail. Plus, my wife and I last year, for the first time, took my grandson backpacking on a segment of this trail, so it felt right to do that again this year, and that fit right in with through hiking the SHT for me. It was a fantastic break. So, contemplating on a personal note, and again, this really only applies to me. Every hiker, every person is unique. They have their own needs and desires. But for me, I think this trail, it felt like the right thing to do. And I think it's a little bit, or maybe even a lot of bit, about proving to myself that I am capable of and interested in setting goals for backpacking and accomplishing them. It's like I needed to accomplish a trip to kind of help settle some loose ends with the PCT experience. So in a few hours today, I will accomplish that goal, Mother Nature permitting. And then the next level of contemplating for me that will happen over the course of the winter, and who knows how long into next year or whenever, when or even if I do another through hike or long section. Hopefully I'll be back to the PCT and do another section there, but that'll be the contemplating for this winter based on all of my experiences this year. The SHT will be 20 days, so 3 weeks. I did get to see my wife along the way. That was wonderful with my grandson. It was probably the highlight of my trip. But I have not really talked to my other children or family members. It's like when I'm on the trail, I get focused on the trail, and it's hard interfacing with reality. I start to miss things, miss people. So that's more of the contemplating, is figuring out what kind of backpacker am I, what are my real world constraints. I don't want backpacking to be a chore. I don't want to be halfway through a trip and can't wait for it to be over. It's so beautiful out in nature. It's so wonderful. But if it's not feeling like that, then it's not right for me. So this trip has felt really good. So I just have to figure out what future trips look like for me. Come to a new backpacker image of myself and follow that. So I know, blah blah blah. I said it's very personal. If you took 100 backpackers and had them answer questions similar to what I've been asking myself, you'd probably get 125 different answers. So this is just one perspective. If you're still watching, thank you, and maybe this will help you think about your own backpacking image and what is right for you. Hiking along the St. Louis River on this section. It's pretty nice. I like seeing the water right there alongside the trail. There was a sign a little earlier though that said no swimming and don't eat the fish. Kind of sad that there would be something going on this far north that would make the water unsafe. I'll be sure not to grab any water out of the river for drinking. I don't know. The sign didn't specify what the contamination was. If it's on occasion algae, the filter doesn't help with algae poisoning. So I'll probably be able to grab water in one of the parks along the way here, but even if not, I think there's a number of creeks that feed into the river here that are probably safe to drink. This is the swinging bridge at Jay Cook State Park. It moves a little bit, but not much. Pretty area. It's been a while since I've been in a state park along the trail, but picked a great spot. There it is. Come around a corner and there's the terminus. Welcome to Wisconsin. I'll be continuing that way to get to my ride. I'll take the North Country Trail south about somewhere around a mile. But first, I'm gonna sign this register, take a little break, but I'm ready to get to my ride, go get some food and water, maybe some ice cream, and sleep in my bed tonight. I may not get up tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining me. Maybe I'll catch you again on another adventure.